In this video, I want to talk to you about the different ways that we can remove barriers when we go camping so that the people we love want to go camping with us. One of the first things in removing barriers was create a checklist. Now, the checklist that I created has more to do with car camping than it does with any other type of camping. What that did is it ensured that anytime I went camping, I would have all of the materials that I needed to fully satisfy my family, satisfy my friends, and myself. I know that if I follow the checklist, then I won't be forgetting my guns, my knives, any sort of random thing, because I will check it off. And it also decreases the friction. So when you create a checklist, you no longer have to really remember what you have to pack. You just have to go through the checklist. When I brain dumped everything that I wanted to go camping, I was able to focus more on my family, focus more on the experience of camping. When I just went through, I packed the stuff that was on the checklist, just checked it off, and I was done. Number 2 is to pursue mutual interest. So a lot of times when guys go camping, they want to go shoot guns. And sometimes the ladies, they probably don't want to do that, especially if there are children around. So if you're a guy...
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Maybe when you go camping, you don't go shoot your guns, because when you're camping, you don't necessarily have to shoot in order for it to be enjoyable. Would you rather have your wife mad at you for shooting guns while you're camping and never want to go camping again with you? Or would you rather just go camping, have a relaxing, peaceful time, and not shoot your guns? That applies to anything. But this step is pursuing mutual interest, not necessarily just getting rid of things they don't like. Pursuing a mutual interest could mean your significant other or your friends, they want to go hiking, but you're not a big hiker. You just want to relax in your hammock. What you can do is compromise, and we hike one day and we camp fully the next day. But you have to do the things that they like to do over what you like to do sometimes in order for them to want to go camping with you, want to do the things that you want to do. Number 3 is getting buy-in from your spouse by inviting other people to go camping with you. So when you invite friends of, let's say your wife, right? Because I'm a guy, I have a wife. If I invite my wife's friends to go camping and they commit to camping with me on a weekend, then my wife now has to go camping with me because I've invited her friends and they've said yes. You've basically garnered mutual buy-in from all of the parties involved. Your wife has to come because her friends are coming. You have to go because you invited them. And the friends are going to come because they said they would. When you go camping, and if you've done this before, you understand that when you're sitting around the campfire or you're just chilling in the hammocks and you have this shared sense of disconnect, shared sense of adventure, maybe you go hiking while you camp, you have a shared sense of adventure, so you have buy-in from everybody involved in a different setting away from either work or little league baseball games. You have God's nature bringing you together. And I don't mean to get all hippie philosophical. What I'm saying is you are going to start having these adventures with people, and that is something that binds you and makes you crave the thing that created the adventure in the first place, which is camping. The last thing that is going to remove barriers is mapping out where you want to go and calling ahead. I personally went somewhere without mapping it out. I got there and every single spot was full and I couldn't find a place to actually camp. And that drove the people I was with insane. They never really wanted to camp with me again. Good for me, I managed to bring them back out, and I learned my lesson and I started mapping out where I wanted to go. I went on outly.com, which is a free mapping service, and I figured out where the state lands were, and I looked for flat areas where I could pitch my tent. And when I went out to the place that I mapped out, I was able to find a camping spot like that. Look for places with state land, BLM, national forest, and the final piece of that is calling ahead to either the Forest Service or the park rangers to make sure that there's not going to be a lot of campers there taking up either all the spots, or if there's fire regulations, things that are going to ban you from going into the forest. I know like camping in Glacier National Park gets a little tricky. Those are the things you want to call ahead and make sure, because nothing is worse than driving 5 or 6 hours and getting there and realizing that you can't camp there. That's another thing that is going to cause the people you're with, either your spouse or your friends, to not want to go pursue camping with you, pursue really any outdoor thing that you want to do. If you've got any value from this video, hop on over to EmptySpacesOutfitters.com, where I have a free camping guide. It's called The Essential Camping Guide, Escape the Rat Race, where I teach you how to disconnect from society so that you can start living the peaceful life that you desire. If you're interested in the next video, it should be somewhere over here. I don't know.